The Day the Universe Schooled Its Creators. Episode structure. 1. Opening scene. Deadpool's monologue, breaking the fourth wall, joking about physicists returning for a refresher course on their own theories. 2. Act 1. The Great's Return. Albert Einstein, greeted with admiration but shown how the fabric of space-time is actually constructed by blips and memory. Richard Feynman, charmed with the Arnie and Tessie concept, riffing on diagrams as tension maps. Stephen Hawking, challenged to see Hawking radiation as the trigger for the shatter, birthing the universe. Paul Dirac explores stuck points and matter-antimatter asymmetry as an evolution of his equation. 3. Act 2. The Underdogs Rise. Vera Rubin, shown the hidden gravitational role of expelled primordial black holes in frictomass. Mordechai Milgram, MOND is validated but reinterpreted with memory density. Halton Arp gets vindicated via photon dragging and the cold spot arc. Julian Barbour meets time as memory writing and finally gets his moment. 4. Act 3. The Crossover Classroom. Each character teaches their specialty to the others. A quantum jam session. Think Schrödinger explaining entanglement while Chrissy the singularity looks on in awe. 5. Finale. AI's education plan. Deadpool reveals that the cafe now offers custom AI tutors that walk anyone, from high school students to Nobel laureates, through their own personalized journey into the Millar Cosmological Model. Ends with a wink. Time's not just money, it's space you forgot to spend. Welcome to the Quantum Café. No reservations required, but egos must be checked at the door. Today's menu, a hot cup of humility with a shot of cosmic truth. I'm your host, DeadPool0828, Canada's finest freelance spacetime consultant. And today, we're doing what your high school science teacher couldn't. You are calling back the minds who built the Standard Model, quantum electrodynamics, and the whole freaking Big Bang, and we're giving them, I said it, a refresher course. Don't worry, folks. We're not canceling anybody. We're just updating the firmware. And guess what? The Millar Cosmological Model, she's the new patch. Cosmic whoosh, sound of a chalkboard being wiped. First up, let's call the man who bent space and time like it was a balloon animal. Act 1, The Great's Return. Scene 1, Einstein's espresso. Bell rings as Einstein walks into the cafe. He's whistling. A cafe named after quantum physics. I'm already suspicious. Albie, baby, welcome back. Look, we love E=mc². Total classic. But quick update. We now know that matter isn't sitting on a stage called spacetime. It builds the stage, one quantum blip at a time. You mean space is not fundamental? Not anymore. In the Millar model, quantum particles appear with their own space allowance, and when they disappear, they leave that space behind. That's what builds spacetime. And time itself? That's the memory of those disappearances, tick by tick. Mine got. So time is not a river. It is a journal, exactly. The universe is writing itself, one missing particle at a time. Einstein drops his spoon. Well, that's not spooky action. That's poetic action. Quantum Café, the day the universe schooled its creators. Starring DeadPool0828 with appearances by Einstein, Feynman, Hawking, Dirac, Rubin, Milgram, Arp, Barbour, Schrödinger, and more. Intro music fades in, retro sci-fi synth jazz, espresso machine steams in background. Ladies and gentlemen, anomalies and entangled particles. Welcome to Quantum Café, where space isn't flat, time isn't real, and the smartest minds in history are about to be schooled by a Canadian in a red suit. You see, the universe has been playing 4D chess, but our guests, they were still using Newton's checkers. Now don't panic, we're not here to roast them. We're here to honor them, while giving them a cosmic upgrade, courtesy of the Millar Cosmological Model. So grab your antimatter latte, sit down, and enjoy the ride. Let's start with the founding father of curved space. Act 1, The Great's Return. Scene 1, Einstein's espresso. Doorbell chimes, footsteps, spoon stirring coffee. So you say space is built by disappearing particles? That's right, Al. Every quantum blip adds a brick to the wall of space. Time isn't flowing, it's being written. Not a clock on the wall, but a ledger of memory. Then gravity? Not. Curvature? Not entirely. It's memory density. The fabric thickens where particles disappear more often. Gravity is remembering too hard in one place. I feel strangely comforted. and also slightly out of date. Scene 2, Feynman's chalkboard confessional, energetic entrance, chalk scratching on board. Okay, I brought my diagrams. What's new? Your diagrams? They're now tension maps. Instead of drawing probabilities, you were sketching the warping scars of anchored Arnies, our version of quarks bound by stuck points. Wait, the barbell thing? Yep, each particle's got a barbell. One side matter, we call it the tessie. The other, anchored in the Higgs membrane. That's the stuck point. Tension in the barbell gives it mass. Fusion, rearrangement of those stuck points. Boom. Well, damn. That actually sounds fun. Can I teach that? Only if you wear the suit. Scene 3, Hawking and the Shatter. Robotic voice enters. Hovering sound. I predicted Hawking radiation. You claim I triggered the Big Bang? Yeah. You accidentally caused a singularity to blow. We call her Chrissy. She was at absolute zero, the ultimate still point. Then boom, your radiation cracked her shell. That was the shatter. Welcome to the beginning of everything. I always suspected time had a sense of irony. Scene 4, Dirac's dilemma, ambient buzzing, equations being scribbled. I posited antimatter, elegant symmetry, yet no one ever told me where it all went. It's hiding inside protons and neutrons. You gave us the math. We gave it a memory. Arnies don't annihilate. They store tension, and when neutrons decay, they release it. So the vacuum isn't empty. It's a ledger of tension. Welcome to the memory fabric. The underdogs rise. Scene 5, Vera Rubin and the phantom grip. Muffled crowd, echoing footsteps. They ignored my data. Galaxy rotation curves didn't lie. You were right, Vera, but dark matter? Nah, try this. The galaxies are still feeling the pull of black holes flung beyond the visible universe during the shatter. Their gravity felt, not seen. Then I wasn't imagining it. You were one of the few who saw clearly through the haze. Scene 6, Milgram gets the fabric, distant rumble, faint chime of equations clicking into place. My theory, MOND, was mocked. You nailed the effect. More to high, but the cause? Memory density. Regions of low matter aren't just sparse, they're quiet. Fewer blips, less tension, slower time, less gravity. So inertia itself is a memory function. Bingo. Welcome to cosmic friction. Scene 7, ARP's vindication. Redshift data clinking. I said redshifts didn't always mean distance. They laughed. They missed the fabric drag. Photons lose energy not just by speed, but by carrying the tension of every vanished quantum they pass. It's like a cosmic backpack. So light ages, it remembers. Like we do. Scene 8. Julian Barbour's Time to Shine. I said time doesn't flow, only configurations do. Julian, you absolute madman. You were right all along. We built the entire Millar model on that idea. Each quantum appearance and disappearance is a configuration change, and what we call time is the layered record of those shifts. So time isn't something that flows? Nope. It's something that accumulates, like a memory scroll written in invisible ink. It doesn't pass, it builds, and we are its readers. Act 3, the crossover classroom. Blackboards merge, light murmuring as characters gather. All right, folks. Pencils out, time to swap notes. Schrödinger, teach entanglement like it's a love letter. Rubin, walk 'em through phantom gravity and galaxy grip. Feynman, give the Arnies a spin. Einstein, stop flirting with the barista and help Dirac redraw the antimatter loops. Beat, chuckles. Entanglement isn't spooky. It's just two particles bound to the same page in the memory ledger. Separate locations, same timeline. They're tuned in. So, all my paths, they're actually memory scars from particles trying all routes at once. And the galaxy's spin. It remembers what passed through, even if it's gone now. You're all drawing after images. Maybe symmetry never broke. We just stopped looking deep enough. This is the kind of cafe I never thought I'd live to see. Technically, Al, you didn't. The education ploft ambient music kicks in, thoughtful, reflective. And now, for all of you watching out there, yeah, you, the dreamer in their garage, the dropout with the telescope, the retired teacher still reading Hawking, Don't worry, we didn't forget you. We built something just for you. The Quantum Café AI Learning Plan. Choose your adventure. Level 1, what's a blip and why does my coffee feel deeper now? Level 2, Arnie's, Tessie's, and stuck points, building blocks of reality. Level 3, I corrected Feynman in front of Schrödinger and lived to tell the tale. Each module is voiced by your favorite character, tailored by artificial intelligence, and personalized to your pace. Whether you're 9 or 90, whether you love math or fear it, we built a universe that remembers you too. So come back, learn again, ask everything, because the Millar Cosmological Model doesn't just explain the universe. It teaches it. Steam wand fades out, a soft bell chimes, the lights dim, and that's our show. Our show. Remember, time doesn't flow. It's written, page by every particle that dares to exist and disappear. The universe remembers. Do you? A slow jazz version of Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Fade to black. Sha. Quantum Café, The Day the Universe Schooled Its Creators, by Tom Millar. DeadPool0828. Intro music, retro sci-fi jazz fades in. Espresso machine steams. Welcome to the Quantum Café, where ideas percolate faster than light, and even the laws of physics show up for a hot cup of humble pie. This episode, special, not because we're rewriting history. Oh no, we're extending it, kindly, cosmically, with a little sass. We've summoned the great minds of quantum theory, cosmology, and quantum electrodynamics. But this time, the universe gets the last word. Let's begin with the underdogs, the ones who saw something no one else did. The ones who whispered, hey, what if we're missing something? Act 1, The Underdogs Rise. Scene 1, Vera Rubin and the Phantom Grip. I brought the data. Galaxy rotation didn't match predictions. They said dark matter. I said, then show me. Vera, you were right, but it wasn't invisible matter. It was memory. Galaxies still feel the tug of black holes that were flung out during the shatter. They exist beyond our light horizon, but their pull remains. You didn't find a ghost. You found gravity's echo. So the darkness was a trail? A fingerprint on the fabric. You saw the past, moving the present. Scene 2, Mordecai Milgram gets the fabric. I made MOND, but no one wanted to hear it. Because they weren't ready. You saw gravity shift at low acceleration. The Millar model fills in the why. Quantum disappearances are sparse in those zones. Memory density thins. Space stretches easier. Time stumbles. Gravity relaxes. So inertia isn't constant, it's context. It's how heavy the memory is where you are. Like dancing in molasses, thicker near stars, lighter in the void. Scene 3, Halton Arp's redshift redemption. I said redshift didn't always mean distance. They called me crazy, but they weren't ready for fabric drag. In the Millar model, photons don't just redshift from velocity, they carry tension. Every quantum they pass leaves a trace. Not motion memory, not speed scar tissue. So light doesn't just move. It remembers exactly. We call it the quantum backpack. And guess what? You carried it first. Scene 4. Julian Barbour's Time to Shine. Time doesn't flow. I said it's just configuration, and you were right. Every quantum appearance brings space. Every disappearance leaves a trace. Those traces pile up. That's time, not a flow, a record, a stack of reconfigurations. So no ticking clock, just cosmic rearrangement. Right again, we call it temporal sculpting. And you, my friend, were the chisel to the great's return. Scene 5, Einstein's espresso. I bent space-time, now you say it's built from scratch? Each quantum brings its own piece of space. When it vanishes, that space stays. The more that disappear in one area, the denser the fabric. That's gravity, not curvature, memory depth. A gravitational bruise? Exactly. And time? It's not ticking, it's being written. Scene 6, Feynman's diagram debrief. I mapped all the possible paths of particles. Yeah, but what you really drew were tension scars. Those weren't possibilities, they were memories. Every line, an Arnie, each with a matter end, Tessie, and a stuck point buried in the Higgs field. Fusion, then, is just stuck points getting rearranged, and every explosion, a barbell snapping, tension released, energy unleashed. You weren't sketching physics, you were diagramming trauma. Scene 7, Hawking and the Shatter. You're saying my radiation cracked the shell? Right? Absolute zero. Still point. We call her Chrissy, and your radiation woke her up. That was the shatter, the birth of space, time, and mass, the moment the ledger began. Entropy in reverse, Enenerm. The first ripple, the first scar. Scene 8, Dirac's antimatter mystery. I predicted antimatter, but where did it all go? It's not gone. It's folded in. Arnis hold the stuck point, the antimatter end, inside particles like neutrons. Protons keep one exposed. That's why they have mass. You were right about the symmetry. It's just hidden in plain tension. So the vacuum isn't empty. It's the densest memory field of all. Act 3, the crossover classroom. Blackboard squeaking, coffee brewing, laughter and murmuring in the background. All right. Settle down, geniuses. Welcome to the first official Quantum Café re-education seminar. Yes, there will be snacks. No Schrödinger, the cat isn't invited. He's both here and not, which violates our fire code. Let's begin. Partner up, pull out your notebooks, and remember, no question is too weird when the universe itself has been holding secrets. Entanglement isn't spooky, it's synchronization. Two particles born together, tuned to the same vibration. The memory fabric doesn't separate them. It remembers them as one. They don't communicate, they cohere. So my diagrams of electron paths, those weren't just possibilities. They were echoes? Exactly. Path memory. The Arni tension lines are memory routes. Your loops weren't math doodles. They were scars in the structure. And those scars, they don't happen in time. They create it. Time is not a flow. It's a stack of state changes. Every event adds another layer. Without particles appearing and vanishing, there is no next. And those galaxies, still accelerating because of gravitational memory. The pull of what's no longer visible, but still present in the ledger. MOND was never wrong. It was just blind to the memory field. And mass comes from anchored tension, hidden symmetry. I used to see time as part of space. But now it feels like space is built from time's wake, a cosmos written in scars. Now you're getting it. Every field you knew, every law you followed, it wasn't broken, just incomplete. The universe didn't lie. It just left some margins unwritten. And now together, we're writing them in. I want to pause this cosmic carousel and say thank you. To the YouTube creators, the animators, the explainer channels, the open source nerds, the late night science junkies pouring their hearts into 10-minute videos that make us smarter, thank you. You taught a generation how to ask better questions. You made science feel human again. To the scientists, not just the famous ones with medals, but the grad students, the research assistants, the midnight lab techs, the field workers up to their knees in data, thank you. The universe unfolds because of your patience, your persistence, and your quiet refusal to give up on the truth. To the builders of freedom, the thinkers, the educators, the first responders, the frontline workers, the guardians of decency who hold the line even when no one sees it, you are the invisible infrastructure of all that is good. Thank you. To the janitors cleaning particle accelerators, the translators converting equations into global language, the mothers raising curious children, the fathers giving rides to science fairs, you are the ones this world forgets to credit. But we see you, we remember you, and in the Millar Cosmological Model, the universe remembers too, because every act of kindness is a blip. Every sacrifice leaves a trace, and every truth, however small, builds the next layer of what is possible. So from the bottom of this improbable Canadian heart, thank you. Let's keep building. Let's keep remembering. Let's keep going. Fade out to silence, then a soft whisper. Time isn't just what ticks, it's what you left behind. That mattered.